What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here, thanks for stopping by. In this video, we're going to be going over the April Titan event and basically just talking about whether it's actually worth going for at all. Obviously, we're going to talk about the champion April, whether she is worth going for and who should actually go for it, and what we should do in this Titan event. Now, I think this Titan event does offer some things that I think everyone should participate in, and we'll go over that in this video here. But first, let's talk about April O'Neil. So April O'Neil, a lot of talk about her recently. Most recently, Plarium has announced that her Nullify debuff no longer works on bosses. So going in here, the info tab here, debuffs, Nullify, champions under Nullify debuff cannot have their skills activated. Now, this is a big thing because the bosses of the Fire Knight and the Ice Golem were not able to activate their abilities, making them significantly easier to beat. Now, personally speaking, I think they should have just left the Nullify debuff the way it was, interacting with the Fire Knight and the Ice Golem the way it did, mainly because April O'Neil now would have, some kind of niche use where she's really good against the Ice Golem and really good against the Fire Knight. Two dungeons that are very old original dungeons, but they actually pose significant issues for more progressing players, especially in the hard difficulty. There's not too many options to deal with Ice Golem or Fire Knight when you're just progressing through the game. So if you were that type of player, going for April and then getting the Nullify debuff definitely would help you against these two dungeons. First of all, they're original, dungeons, and they've been around for so long. They're not, any kind of super crazy power creep endgame dungeon where people are going to farm the heck out of it just because of this Nullify debuff that exists. And also, they could tweak future content where they just have immunity to Nullify. But also, I just think they should have just left it. It was an interesting way to use it, and it gives April a lot of value. But as it stands, April is now not able to use Nullify against those bosses, so we have to keep that in mind. So who actually gets or goes for April O'Neil? So I've been asked a lot of times, should I go for April O'Neil? Is she good? Blah, blah, blah. I think if you have to ask that, I think you probably should pass April O'Neil. She's not a generalist good champion. If you're brand new to the game, I think April O'Neil is a hard skip. She's not going to massively progress, help you progress your account in any real way. She has a big arena aura. She does bring a turn meter pushback and an increased accuracy, but honestly, it's just not enough for this level of investment. It's basically a fusion to complete her Titan event, and I would expect most new players to not be able to complete this event for her. Her A1 does bring a bit of crowd control, which is kind of nice, and of course, her big ability here is a single target steal and a turn meter steal as well, and then the Nullify and the Seal debuffs. Now, keep in mind that she is magic affinity, and she will be susceptible to weak hitting, so trying to land this ability against Force Affinity is going to be difficult. And she gets hard stopped by basically Stone Skin. Stone Skin will basically stop her most of the time anyways. Also, if you open with this A3 to get the increased accuracy boost, which is really good because she requires accuracy in her whole kit, the turn meter pushback is kind of weird because you push back the turn meter and then you do your steal ability and you steal 100% of the turn meter, but then you just pushed it back. So you're stealing less. It's kind of weird. You're stealing less, right? And also this ability requires accuracy as well. What they should have done is either give it a increased turn meter for your whole team or a pushed back turn meter and an increased turn meter. That would have been nice, similar to like Lysandra or something. But then I could see her being a little bit more useful for like, a big turn meter boost champion. But yeah, it is a little bit of a strange kit and she is more PvP focused or arena focused and all that. But anyways, April O'Neil, I think generally is probably a low grade, kind of champion here for most people. Now, her Titan event is currently active. We have the Ace Report Titan event. It's going to be ongoing for 3 weeks. Now, if you guys paid attention in my previous video, the third week actually only has 150 points. You do require 1,500 points to get April O'Neil out of a possible 1,750 points. Now, if you haven't gotten April O'Neil by basically the end of the second week, you're basically out of luck. You can't buy Titan points, as far as I know. But yeah, you can't buy Titan points. So if you miss, too much Titan points, then she's out of the picture. So effectively, this is a 2-week Titan event with the third week basically just a 150 point sweetener. Now, glossing over this event here, we do have the epic relic here, the Exar's Totem, which is a pretty cool relic, although not busted or anything like that. It's a, there we go. It's a turn meter increase type of relic. You get 16% at level 12, turn meter boost whenever an ally receives any of this hard CC stuff occurs once per turn. So, you're going to get some value from it. Whether it's better than, whatever else you have, that's up for debate. But it seems like a very decent relic, and that's going to be up for grabs as well at milestone 2. Now, what I did notice about this Titan's Path is that there is no Void Shard in this Titan Path, which is very strange. Usually they always have a Void Shard. Thankfully, we still have a Primal Shard, but with the absence of the Void Shard, I kind of thought to myself, hey, maybe I'll do some digging and take a look at some of the past Titan events and see how they compare to this new one. So I'm going to bring up onto the screen here. All right, so there we go. So this is the latest Titan event that we had, and it's the Tholin Titan event. So if we look and compare each milestone, we can kind of see if there's any big differences. The first milestone here, basically you're just replacing the 1-star Tholin with the Ancient Shard. Everything else seems relatively the same or exactly the same. Milestone 2 here for Tholin, they did put the Epic Relic as well at 300 points, and there's some small juggling here around the 200s. We do get the Player in Play points here instead of the silver, so they removed the silver there, which is a nice touch, I guess. But they did also basically increase the cost of the Starstone. So now we're getting 50 Starstone for 280 Titan points. Previously, we were getting 75 for 260. So I could see some issue here where they're increasing the cost of Starstone. That's one of the big limiting factors for relics. Obviously, crafting them, moving them, it's a big bottleneck for a lot of people. And yeah, but milestone 2 looks pretty standard. Milestone 3, I think, is where the big one is. So instead of the 3-star Tholin Soul, we are picking up the Primal Shard. Now, the Primal Shard usually is in the 5th tier. So I think everybody should be going for at least the 3rd milestone, at least this Primal Shard, because I think it's such an amazing value relative to what it usually is. The rest of this doesn't really make too much of a big difference. Like, you got 200 energy, but in Tholin's Titan event, you got 75 gems. I prefer the gems over the energy here. But you get 300 energy instead of the 5-star glyph. So for the Tholin event. So you get more energy for the Tholin, but here you got a 5-star glyph. I think for the Tholin milestone 3, it's definitely way better because you have more energy. But of course, the 5-star speed glyph is still pretty solid. But the big prize here is going to be this Primal Shard at 600. Previously for the Tholin, we're looking at 1,150 points for the Primal Shard. So this is almost half off. It's an insane value, and I think everyone should go for this. No matter how early or mid game you are, I think this is the best value in this entire Titan event. The other big cost savings here is actually this rank 2 Basalt. Now, I don't know how valuable a rank 2 Basalt is for most people. For me, an endgame player, is not super valuable, but obviously having more of these at this point in the game, at this point in the Basalt economy, definitely is still helpful. And here we get it at 303 points as opposed to the Tholin Titan event, which was 640 points. So again, a great value here for rank milestone 3. So we're heading to milestone 4 here, comparing against the Tholin Titan event. And we do get some filler items here. At 640, we get this epic random gemstone. It's a little bit of a filler it's a filler reward. And then we get the Starstones here at 100. So 680 points for 100 Starstones. You can kind of see in the Tholin event, we had 200. So basically double the amount for 800 Titan points. So obviously Plarium is bottlenecking everybody here with the Starstones, making them very expensive and not giving us much. 100 Starstones literally does not do jack all. Does not do jack all. Like, it does nothing. It does nothing. So it's yeah, it's pretty big. It's pretty big. Yeah, the lack of Starstones is pretty huge for a lot of people. The oils got more expensive in the Ace Reporter event. And then here it is, guys. They replaced the Void Shard with 50 of these extracts. That is a big like facepalm moment, guys, in my opinion. The Immortal Soulstone got a little bit cheaper, but most of these are relatively the same price. We got the Chaos Ore 6-star speed glyph, same price. And then we got a real big discount here with the Legendary Tome, 960 points. 960 points is a pretty deep discount compared to what it was previously. 1350 in the Tholin event. You can kind of see it right there, 1350. So I would highly recommend everybody basically hitting up this legendary tome. It's great value relative to what it usually is. At least most recently in the Tholen event. Perhaps the Tholen event was an outlier, but we can kind of say that the legendary tome here is, a deep discount than what it was in the Tholen event. And then at 1,000 points, you get the avatar frame. I mean, that's not going to push your account, but it's going to make your account super, super sexy. And then we go into the 5th milestone, the 5th tier milestone. We got the 3-star basalt here. That's was offered previously about the same points in the Tholen event. And now we got legendary gemstone. I think these are basically just filler events, filler rewards, 1,100 points for this legendary gem. We got the 5 chaos powder here, which is slight discount from previous. And then we have the 5-star chicken, which is slight discount. We have the XP barrel, again, slight discount. And then a second legendary book here. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. So this time we actually get 2 legendary books. Usually it's only one. And usually it's somewhere in the 5th milestone. I believe it has been in the 4th milestone before, but here we actually get 2 legendary skill tomes up for grabs in this Titan event. Usually that doesn't happen. We do get the 6-star mythical chaos ore, and then we have the mythical skill tome. Previously in the Tholen event, there was no skill tome, the mythical skill tome, which is a big bummer. And then 10 soul essences here. Which I think is okay as a, second best prize. And then we have the champion. Now, usually champion Titan events are, of course, higher value, right? You get more value from a champion than you do a soul, usually, especially if you don't have the champion and then there's only a soul available. So in this case, you do get a champion. So the last time we had a Titan event for a champion, that was like the Torment event, which was almost 2 years ago in 2023. Now, considering that this Titan event is for a champion, which we, probably would say is a higher value, final reward. It has 2 legendary books, which give you some flexibility. Sometimes people just want 1 legendary book, and then they have to go all the way into the 5th milestone. In this case, they got a legendary book here at 960, which is good. And then you have the option to go up to the 2nd legendary book if you want to. So there's some options there. But honestly, if you can live without April, if you can live without the avatar frame, which I think is pretty cool, I think this is the best prize here. The Primal Shard, that's going to be the best prize, to be honest. And I think everybody should go for this. Scoop this up, call it a day. If you want to go kind of deep into this event, I mean, picking up the frame is not so bad. But obviously, just picking up like maybe the Soul Stone or pick up the first book here, the lower book here is not too bad as well. But I would probably avoid the 5th milestone here. There's a couple small fillers. And the usual top end rewards are, not much of a discount at all. Some things we don't really have anymore are like, the gear removal tokens. We had some of those in previous Titan events as well. But the big thing we're missing out on is the extra void shard. So 1 less void shard in this whole shebang here. We do get 1 extra legendary book if you want to go, all the way to the 5th milestone for the 2nd legendary book. So it's a little bit of a give and take, but the best part is probably this. Yeah, like I said, this Primal Shard deep discount here, almost half off. Same thing with this rank 2 basalt, almost half off. And the general trend I'm seeing here is that they're valuing the basalts a little bit cheaper. But the star stones, they definitely make it significantly more expensive. So I don't know, maybe that's their plan, to try to bottleneck players with the lack of star stones. And I find it kind of interesting that they put 5 chaos dust here at 800, but they put 5 chaos powder here at 1150. Yeah, I feel that's a little bit misplaced in terms of the overall value for April. Yeah, there's really no reason for that. And obviously the 2nd legendary book at 1300 is definitely significantly more expensive than 960 here, but we said it's a good thing. We get 2 books here if you want, or you get the flexibility of going for the low one. But overall, I think this Titan event is not too bad, especially going up to the 3rd milestone just for the Primal Shard. And like I said, this relic is actually not too bad as well. It's definitely usable. So definitely worthwhile to go up to 300 points. 600 points you can get without spending a single shard. Just do some of the events, use up your free energy, use up your advanced quest energy and all that. You can even go up to 1,000 without actually pulling up any shards. So usually going up to the milestone 5 requires you to pull some shards or go into some of the heavier events. Now, personally speaking, I'm probably going to be going for April just because I'm an endgame account. I can do these events basically just with my regular gameplay, and I will be pulling shards or participating in the Hero's Path upcoming this weekend. So but as a byproduct, I will probably end up picking up some Titan points and all that. And keep in mind that you can still skip 250 Titan points along the way for April O'Neil. So overall, it's probably just going to be something that I do kind of almost passively, just doing the events in the game. But I would highly recommend you guys evaluate whether April O'Neil is worth it for you guys. At this point, she's basically just a Pokemon to collect. She's an exclusive Pokemon. She's obviously going to be gone after the collab, and she does have a very unique debuff just specific to her. So you never know when some kind of content comes out where she's actually going to be pretty good, and then she's able to cheese it out. But I think in players' best interest, they wouldn't make an exclusive champion overly powerful or overly necessary to complete any kind of new content. So they would have to mess up pretty hard for her to be like OP in any kind of new content. So I think for now, she's probably just going to be a collector's item. So I think she's not going to be overall appealing to a lot of people, especially those early game or progressing through the game still. So yeah, definitely, assess that for yourself. Obviously this is like doing a fusion itself. It's definitely not easy to do, but there's still some decent goodies along the way. So make sure you guys grab them up. Make sure you guys, once again, keep in mind that the first 2 weeks is mostly the majority of the points are 150 in the third week only. So keep that all in mind when you guys are tackling this Titan event. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Hopefully it showed you guys what was worth it, whether April's worth it, and who should do what. Hopefully provide you guys with a little bit more of a clearer picture on everything. Let me know in the comments below what your plans are. Hopefully you guys are having a good time with this whole collab. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching until the end. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.